Hey, how's it going, Underhill? There you are. I was beginning. Okay, so it wasn't on my end. It was on yours. Okay, that's fine. You still here? Yeah, sorry. It looks like there's gonna be some kind of. It does look like there's gonna be a bit of a lag here between you hearing me and me talking. Um, you are still here, correct? Cool. Okay. So you got a character concept for me? The way this is essentially going to work is I am going to ask you for a character concept, and then we're going to work together to find a way to build that toward teamwork. Oh, okay. Okay, is that the problem? All right. Okay. Okay. All right. That explains a lot. Okay. 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 So, all right. So yeah, the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna ask members for a character concept, and then we're gonna work together to build it for the team. And who knows? Maybe, who knows? Maybe we can, if it's if I like a build enough, we might it might end up as a teamwork build on the channel. Who knows? Or at least something similar. Oh, so you need glasses then. All right. Well, okay. So, got a character concept for me? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, we can start this anytime. So we could build around one of the two new classes if you want, or I do have Nethys up, so we can definitely build something. Huh. Okay. 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 All right. So, all right, Megas. Okay. That's cool. Megas it is. All righty. Let me get some. Yeah. All right, so we go to Magus. All righty. What ancestry are you thinking? Now let's pull up Magus. Magus. We need a hybrid study. Okay. Well, for what you're thinking, I think the best. I'm thinking the best one for a quote unquote monk that uses that uses unarmed attacks. Magus that uses unarmed attacks is going to be Twisting Tree for sure. The other ones require certain types of weapons, and they all require certain types of weapons. But Twisting Tree is a staff. I think that's the closest to a quote unquote monk. Wouldn't you say? But yeah, human would be great. The problem with doing an unarmed attacks with Magus is that all the hybrid studies require weapons. That's the only thing. Still here? Hmm. Laughing Shadow, huh? Actually, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Laughing Shadow. Yeah, actually, Laughing Shadow is good. Yeah, yeah. I think an unarmed Magus would be good with Laughing Shadow. Okay, that's cool. All right, and human. Okay, so how far are we going with this? Are we going all the way to level 20, or are we just stuck? Or are we just stopping at a certain point? I see. Okay. Okay. So so we just want to okay, so we just want to go to second level. Okay. 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 All right. We can just go to second level play. That's fine. All right. So, okay. So, all right. Going Magus. All right. Going human Magus. Okay. Now the question is, do we want to be dex based or do we want to be strength based with this character? We most certainly could do either. Okay. Well, we're also going to need intelligence though, because we're playing a Magus. Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think for this character, most of our damage is going to come from spell strike. So yeah. I feel like max dex is the way to go. So okay. So let's see. Right. Yeah. What, like leather armor? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Um. The only other thing we gotta decide at the beginning is our background. Now, what I find is that background really doesn't matter, as long as you get the stats you need at the end of the day. So, and the bottom line is we're going to need strength and intelligence for this build, for sure. Hmm. Yeah, for background, I mean, what background are you thinking? Oh, dubious knowledge? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Because that'll give us a boost to intelligence, and then we can pick strength as. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, that's fine. Great. Okay. I do want to write this stuff down because this may end up being a build on the channel, you know. But yeah, okay. So, yeah, all right. So then now, so for our ability boosts, we get 2 free boosts as a human. We probably want to put those into strength and or dex and intelligence, right? Actually, I'm sure you can figure out the stats based on what you picked here. But we can go through those if you want. Hmm. Dex and Constitution. Okay. Um, you do realize we are going to need intelligence. Okay. You do realize we're going to need intelligence for this build too, right? In order to use our spell strike effectively. Especially if we plan on using this build to. Right, okay, okay. Alright. Yeah. Right. We have to pick intelligence for our and then for the I guess for the 4 free boosts, dexterity, intelligence, con, and what do you want for your fourth one? Strength. Okay. Yeah, you did say you wanted to up strength. Okay. That's cool. So, give me a second here. Our stats at first level should be strength 12, dexterity 18, constitution 14, intelligence 14, wisdom 10, charisma 10. Is that what you're wanting? Is that what you're thinking? Okay, cool. All right. We get dubious knowledge from our from our background, but what's our first human feats? Oh, and what's our heritage? That's a good point. What are we picking for our heritage? Yeah, what are we picking for our heritage? Why don't we just go half elf? I mean, I think I think it's fine to do it that way, but I mean, it just seems. Oh, so okay, so yeah, cooperative nature. Okay, cool. Nature. All right. It just versatile human with adopted ancestry seems like a roundabout way to do it, but I mean that's fine. Now I don't think Megas gets a. I don't think Megas gets a class feat at first level. No, they don't. No, they do not. Okay. All right. Right, I understand, but you could do that with half elf too. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. If that's the way you want to do it, that's fine. It just seems like that's a roundabout way to do it. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, that's fine. All right. So, I guess we're done with level 1. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Half elf would work too. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hmm. I mean, if you like adopted ancestry, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. Okay. Well, now you're gonna have to let me know on this, but do you want to actually go through all the stats and stuff, or? Oh, that's right. Elementalist is a class archetype. That's right. That means we're not going. Right. I forgot. Elementalist is a. Forgot about that. Elementalist is a class archetype. I mean, I've just been doing it the way I do my teamwork belts. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm actually not that familiar with the elementalist archetype. Yeah, oh, okay. You're looking at the new one from Rage of okay. Okay. All right. Then let me pull that up then. Yeah, cuz I don't think yeah, okay. All right, let me pull up Rage of Elements then. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Elementalist archetype. That's the kineticist. Okay, elementalist class archetype. Here we go. Okay. All right, yeah, I have not read into this, so, this may take me a while. So what elemental philosophy are we looking at here? I guess is the question. Okay, so, yeah, that's the problem. See, the way it would work is the actual fist damage would be non lethal, but the spell damage would be obviously lethal. So I don't know if you're okay with that, but I don't know if you saw my last video, but one way we could get around that is by taking the Talos heritage and then taking the feat that makes your fists metal. But I mean, we may have to work with with our unarmed strikes being non-lethal, unfortunately. Or taking a penalty if we want them to be. Thing is, yeah, we can absolutely. Okay, so you're okay with okay. If we want our fist to do lethal, then we're gonna take a penalty on the attack roll. But yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Alright. Okay. At least that's how me as a GM would rule it. I don't know how your GM would rule it. But, yeah. Alright, so yeah, what's our elemental philosophy? Oh, that's true. Yeah, arcane fists. I didn't think of that. Yeah. Maybe we can take that as second level. But yeah, what's our arcane philosophy? I think we have to take that. Yeah. Much as I wish we could take the other feat. I think we have to take that in order to really get the most out of this build. This arcane fit. As much as I would love to take the okay, so the elemental cycle. Okay. Alright, that's fair. Alright, so we have to take the elementalist dedication. Alright. And then for our Magus feats, I think we either take Arcane Fist, like you said, or we take Magus Analysis. Not using a shield to raise the tome is pointless. I don't think we really need cantrip expansion. At some point, we will want to take expansive spell strike, as that will be plenty of. But I don't think we need it at first. I don't think we need it at second level. But at some point, we will want to take that. Enhanced familiar is pointless. We won't have a familiar. Spell parry could be useful, but Spirit Sheath, not great. And yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. Then I think Magus Analysis is the way to go. That way we can do a recall. That way we can do a recall knowledge to know what our enemy's weaknesses are. Because I think that's the way we're going to help the team with this build is hitting enemy weaknesses. Since we've got all these different types of spells, yeah, I think Arcane Fists can be good for later. In fact, we could take at some point we could take what's it called? At third level we could actually take not adopted ancestry, but what's the other one? Ancestral Paragon for what's the feat? Natural Ambition for that. Pegasus Analysis. We could also take Expansive Spell Strike to hit more enemies with our. Yeah. Hold on a second, man. Ah, okay. All right, that was just my dad letting me know what's going on. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think either one would be good here. I do think Megas Analysis is a little bit better for this build, but you could also take Expansive Spell Strike because we will need that eventually. Oh, okay. Okay. So, all right. Okay, so maybe we don't need Expansive Spell Strike. Okay, cool. Yeah, cantrips are mostly yeah. Okay. Okay. So, you didn't really answer my question. Do we want to go past level 2 or cuz I mean, that's basically it for I mean, that's basically it for level 2. I mean, we have to take the I mean, yeah, we do have to take the Elementalist dedication, which will give us some resistance, so that's handy. Yeah. I do know that the Elemental spell list does have things like Fireball, so we're definitely going to want to take Expansive Spell Strike at some point. But, yeah. Or we could build a character to help this character out to level 2. You know? Like right off the bat I can think of just this build doesn't really have a way to buff or debuff, you know? All it really can do is hit enemy weaknesses. Because not all enemies have weaknesses. So, this build needs oh, sounds good. Okay, so that is level 5. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay. All right, level 5 sounds good. Okay, so our general feats. Now, the three feats I always take, but I think let me see here. When do we need to take Canny Acumen for our lowest save? Let's see. Our lowest save is going to be Reflex, and when do we get? Question is, when do we get? When do we get Expert? We get Expert in Reflex at level 5. So that means maybe we can wait on. I don't know. Do you want to wait on being expert in? Do you want to wait 2 more levels to get expert in reflex or what? I mean, we're gonna need 2 other general feats anyway. And I think one of the ones we could take is Natural Ambition for that Arcane Fists. You know? I don't think we need toughness or die hard yet. As we are a Megas, we have pretty good hit points. So the question is it going to be... Question is it going to be Canny Acumen, or is it going to be Natural Ambition for Arcane Fists? For our 3rd level general feat. No, I mean, which one though? Which one sounds good? Arcane Fist or Canny Acumen? Yeah, we could. Yeah, that could be our last general feat is fleet. Um. Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Um, all right, hold on. Um, yeah, let's look at what feats are available at level 4. That's a good point. Let's look at the feats that are available at level 4 for Megas. I mean, do we want to take Distracting Spell Strike? I mean, it's a good feat. Oh yeah. Do we want to take Distracting Spell Strike? That's the question. I feel like we should take Distracting Spell Strike. It is a good feat. Let's take a look. Um, it basically allows you to make a spell strike and feint against the target. Um, 2 actions. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eh. Oh, it's a spell strike and a feint for 2 actions. Where a spell strike is normally which is normally but spell strike is normally 2 actions. So this is basically 3 actions for 2 actions. So I don't know if we want that or not. That's true. It would require charisma. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's not the best bet here. Um we could also take I mean the only other feat that I think might be useful at that level is Striker's Scroll. So we can use scroll spells. Yeah, fainting does require deception. Yes, that's a good point. That would still require deception, and our charisma isn't great. So yeah. So yeah, maybe it's okay to take. So yeah. I mean, do we want the option to use scrolls with spell strike? That could be useful. That's the only other feat I can think of that would be any use in this particular belt. Besides, arcane fists. So if you don't want to be able to use spell strikes with scrolls, oh, we still cast from the. We still technically have the arcane list. Yeah, we're just using the. We still cast arcane spells. It's just we're using the elemental spell list. So yes, we would be able to use general arcane spell scrolls. Yeah, the elementalist archetype does say that they do still count as arcane spells. Okay, so that's level 4. Okay, that means we probably need to take arcane fists at level 3. We can save fleet for a greater level, and since we're not taking canny acumen, we're not going to need to take that until level 15. But by the time we get another general feat, we'll already be expert in reflex. That's true. We would be able to retrain at level 5. That is correct. Yeah, that's true. We would be able to retrain. Yeah, but for the time being, I'm gonna assume that we're not retraining. That's generally what I do. But if I'm gonna assume that we're not retraining, because that's what I generally do for my teamwork builds. But yeah, if you wanted to do that, you absolutely could. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah. All right, so we know we're taking scroll spell. You know we're taking Striker Scroll at level 4. What is our free archetype feat? I think maybe we might have. Okay, so we have 3 feats we can take here. We can take Dowsing Spell, which allows us to basically get rid of persistent damage on the target, persistent acid or fire. And do extra damage to creatures with a weakness to water. I said there's only 2 options. We can get a familiar, or we can do the Dowsing Spell thing. Now, is water in our elemental philosophy? It is. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, what are we thinking here? Do we want to? We want to take the meta magic, or do we want a familiar? Those are our 2 options. We can't take elemental familiar because we don't have a familiar. Okay. Dowsing Spell. Okay. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, those are only 2 options, so yeah. Alright. And then we get to the last, our second ancestry feat for level 5. So let's see. We have quite a few options. We can't take Cooperative Soul yet. Oh yeah, we were going to take Nimble Elf, weren't we? You said you wanted to take Nimble Elf at level 5, right? True. Okay, yeah. And Nimble Elf does stack with Fleet. So, okay, yeah. I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine, yeah. So I do think that this build is going to want to try to hit weaknesses. At higher levels, you could take some feats that would let you like defend allies and stuff. I think you are going to have to take. I think you might have to take another archetype here, and you would just go. You want to go fast, so you would go monk. Monk archetype if you needed some extra free archetype feats. And I think you'd use the scrolls for I think the bottom line is the speed would only be helpful if you had some way of getting enemies to chase after you. Um, Although it would also be useful if you're further away, obviously. But I think I think you're gonna want to get scrolls for this build that you know for spells like command and suggestion and stuff like that. I think those are the scrolls you're gonna want to get for this build. Force enemies to chase after you. I did a build similar to this earlier. My I don't know if you've seen it yet. My oh, what's it called? The speed demon. Speed demon. Yeah, it didn't do elemental damage, but it did make enemies. It did have definitely ways of forcing enemies to chase after. And the other thing is, because you're unarmed, once you get your strength up, you can absolutely yeah, yeah, kinda. Yeah, I mean, fear isn't really gonna help you that much, honestly. It's gonna help your party, but it's not really gonna help you. Well, yeah, enchantments type spells. Yeah, those are the ones you're gonna want to get for your scrolls. Yeah, you know, I think that the other thing is because you're unarmed. Um, once you get your strength up, you're gonna want to start grappling and tripping people. And that's another way that the monk archetype can come in handy. You can take wolf stance. Yeah, that'll be pretty dope. Especially if you can manage to get wolf drag too. Or if you want to focus on grappling, you could take ape stance as well. Or gorilla stance, I believe it's called. Although although the other thing is a lot of enemies have high fortitude saves. So you might be better off going with wolf stance for the tripping. Yeah, I think that's probably your best bet. But you're still going to want to have the grappling option available, um, just in case enemies do have high reflex saving throw. Yeah, you're not going to be taking any feats that will allow you to that will. I don't think in this build you're going to take any feats that will let you be better at that, other than wolf stance. But um, you know, the bottom line is, yeah, that athletics. Once you get your strength up, you are going to want to start doing that as well. The bottom line is have more than just a few options. You know, I mean, hitting enemy weaknesses is great. Um, I do think if you take the monk archetype, then you can take. There's a feat that basically gives you even more speed. So yeah, I think that's one you're going to want to take as well. Yeah, okay. Bottom line is take spells that will make enemies chase after you or keep them with you. You know, so that enemies will so that enemies will go after you instead of your allies. Yeah. I do think you're gonna have to be careful though, you're because you're not gonna have as much AC as another Magus would, and also you're definitely not gonna have the AC of a champion for sure. Definitely not. So the question is, do we want to build? And that's what I envision too. Yeah. The bottom line is, if you're going to use speed to your advantage, then you need some reason for enemies to chase after you, especially if you're really fast. Because that will make them waste actions. The only thing is, because Spell Strike takes 2 actions, you're gonna have a hard time doing that. Is the only problem I see with this. You almost need haste as a spell too. Yeah. Or force them to. Yeah. Yeah. And anything that will up your speed as well. Because yeah, if they have to spend because yeah, you're especially with fleet, you're gonna be faster than most creatures. Which means that you're gonna be able to means enemies are gonna have to spend 2 actions to get to you. Means they're wasting actions. Anything you can do to make okay. I think what this character needs is someone to one of the main weaknesses of one of the main weaknesses of this character is walls and water. We need some way of getting rid of those weaknesses. We also need we would also need a buff debuffer for this help this character out. Absolutely. Yeah, water and walls are really going to hurt this character. So we need some way to deal with those two. And a buff debuffer. That's the main thing. Is there? Okay, yeah. Yes, there is. There is. However, the thing is that yes, there is. Okay, it's level 6. The only issue is This isn't going to come up very often, but this only allows you to move on water. It doesn't allow water to support you. Which means as soon as you stop moving, you fall in. Which means if there's an enemy in water, about the only thing that this character can do is cast a regular spell. Not spell strike, regular spell. Spell strike won't work. But a regular spell will if we're talking a creature in water. But we still have to deal with walls. If an enemy decides to put up a wall spell around you, you're screwed. Unless you can either fly somehow or you can break through that wall. True. Okay, but I do still think we need a buffer. A buffer slash debuffer. This build isn't very defensive. I think if we had someone to help us with that and help us with our attacks, that'd be great. We're also going to need a character that no, I'm thinking more like something like a bard. Is what I'm thinking. Yes, especially in the beginning. But like I said, I'm thinking of something more like a bard. You know, someone who can debuff enemies and buff allies. I'm also thinking someone who can do more physical damage than just bludgeoning. Although once we take wolf stance, we'll be able to do piercing too. But I do think someone who can do slashing damage would be good. Right, exactly. Yes. I'm thinking someone who can do slashing damage. Preferably a fighter or a barbarian. Because I know of at least a few enemies that have resistance to a whole bunch of things. Right off the bat, I can think of right off the bat, I can think of skeletons. But I mean, you're gonna be able to deal with those because you do bludgeoning damage. But still, yeah, that's what this stream is for. And in fact, I'm going to be doing this. The plan is to do this once a month for all my members. Okay, that's fine. Just yeah, like I said, I plan on doing this every once a month. Yeah. So I guess we'll end the stream there then. Um, yeah, if you want to, yeah, I'll do this again next month. So yeah, and then in November we'll have the remaster to work with. That'll be cool. So yeah, I'll see you in a month. Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, yeah. So I'm going to end the stream there. So, yeah, teamwork is vital.